Hi everyone, how's it going? So, a couple of things that happened that I need to tell you guys about. The first is that I reported to police yesterday that I thought I heard a racial slur being shouted out the window as I was taking the bins out. I actually did say to the police that I was 75% sure, meaning I wasn't 100% sure, and I still reported it anyway. The second report that I made this morning was to police about basically this plan to break into my flat. And again, I said I wasn't sure because the first thing is that sometimes I can hear things wrong. And second of all, even when I'm right, I can be gaslit about it. So what I did this time around as far as the police were concerned, was that I actually put it in their hands and I said to them, look, I might not be 100% of the way right, but I asked their advice on what they think I should do. Now, this is something that I'm going to be doing from now on, all right? When it comes to me making accusations and stuff like that, a couple of things that people like to do is A, say that I'm lying, or B, say that it's a mental health issue. So, in order to cut out the middleman, the first thing that I do is that if I'm not entirely sure, I report it anyway, but I make it clear that I'm doing it from the perspective of just in case I'm right and it potentially endangers everybody if I don't say anything. But at the same time, I always use as a disclaimer that I do have mental health issues. And therefore, rather than make a decision myself about what to do, what I will do is I will ask the advice of police, I will ask the advice of any authority figures. What do you think I should do? Because people want me to be mentally ill until it's time for me to be mentally ill. So if I'm mentally ill and I have mental health issues, I will ask them what to do. Leave it in their hands so that if anything goes wrong, that's on them. It's not on me because I didn't make a definite decision. They made the definite decision when I asked them what to do. So from now on, that's what I'm going to do. Before I even begin to make reports, first I ask my advice on it. First I ask about people what to say. Because one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to have people try to accuse me of lying, and I'm not going to have people gaslighting me. If I'm mentally ill, I'm mentally ill. I'm leaving it in your hands to tell me what to do. That is now your responsibility. So, what I think has happened, and this is not based on anything that I've heard or anything that I've observed or anything, most likely I've been reported twice. The first time that I think I've been reported for is when I talked about having certain feelings, like out of nowhere because of the psychotropic weaponry, right? That's the first time I think that I've been reported. Even though I made it clear that nobody else around me was bothering me, I think I was still reported for that anyway. And I think somebody would have said, I don't feel safe, this, that, and the third because of that. Second time I think I've been reported was with regards to this police situation. Now, again, I'm not saying this based on what I've heard. This is simple conjecture based on what has actually happened. Now, the thing about me is that I've been reported over less than that. The landlords have been gunning for me for the longest, okay? So reports have been building up about me, about anything and everything that they can get their hands on. If there is anything that's negative, it doesn't matter whether it's justified or not, they're going to report me. It's as simple as that. So the landlords that have basically taken over this flat, because of what I know and because of the information that I have, if there is anything even slightly wrong, they're going to report me. Now, with regards to anybody reporting me right now, once again, this is conjecture. This is not an accusation. Well, it kind of is because it's conjecture, right? But this is me saying that this is what I believe has happened based on previous experiences in my life. 9 times out of 10, if I'm too perfect, or if I do what I'm supposed to do and I'm a bit too accountable, then something will be made up, or at least exaggerated, or anything that causes anybody else discomfort, even if it's something that's really got nothing to do with them, they'll report it. Because it's happened before. Yeah? So this is what I do. This is basically, okay, I've got, for instance, I've got a recording right now of a conversation that I have with police, because I make sure that I record shit so that there's no confusion. I've recorded the phone call to the police. And anybody who's watching right now, or anybody in the comments when I upload this on YouTube, you can tell me whether or not that constitutes a lie. Let's play it now. Hang on. I'm going to put this here. Hi, this is going to be a long phone call, so please forgive me for this. I'm not making a report. I actually want to ask your advice on something.
Okay, what is it in relation to, please?
Okay, so I complained about somebody yesterday, and the complaint was based on me being 75% sure of what I was complaining about. I think that what I've heard from yesterday and today is that there are plans to break into my flat. Like I said before, this is not a report. I want to ask your advice on what I should do. And before I do that, I want to give you background. So the first thing is, in my defense, I have suffered... Hold on. I am the target of a gang stalking initiative or a community stalking initiative, which means that as soon as I leave my flat, or as soon as I leave anywhere, my place is going to be broken to at some point. So if it wasn't going to be the neighbours, it would be somebody else. The police will not do anything because the police have been instructed not to, okay? Because I've had a break-in before, had a break-in back in London, and the police did nothing. So I've kind of accepted it as par for the course. That's A. B is that I've been racially harassed before, but racial harassment has not normally resulted in somebody breaking into anywhere and stealing my belongings. It's usually just talking nonsense, yeah? So those are the first two things that I want to bring up. The third thing is that, now this is going to be counter my defense. This is what's going to go against me. The first thing is that because I have borderline personality disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder, there have been times where somebody has said something and I have heard wrong, okay? And because of that, it's been relatively easy for people to say, she's got mental illness or she's got something wrong with her, in order to kind of disprove my claims, because I've gotten things wrong before because of my mental illness. Right? So, this is one of those occasions where quiet voices were used, right? And I could have heard wrong. So I'm 55% sure that's what's going against me right now. But this is why I'm asking your advice, as I know you're not a police officer. I know you're a call center agent. But I wanted to ask the advice of the police on what I should do. Given that, yes, I have had break-ins before, and yes, I have had racial harassment before, but at the same time, knowing that I also have a history of hearing things wrong, and also that I have a history of, where my PTSD can make me hypervigilant, what I should do, what the police think I should do at this point. Because what I don't want to do is escalate a situation where there is a young family involved and there are other neighbours involved. Other neighbours are already gunning for me because, they've harassed me too. At the same time, if I don't say anything, then there is a risk that somebody else other than me could be endangered. So I wanted to know the police's advice on what I should do before we make any reports or anything like that. Now, I wanna illustrate. I've heard that there are plans to break into my flat, but I am 55% sure. So based on that, I want to ask police what my advice should be, because these are serious allegations I'm making, and it can result in a big escalation of problems that have already been there. We haven't even spoken yet, and this could really result in huge escalations that I don't think anybody wants without good reason. So I'm asking...
Where did you hear this?
Well, basically, I heard it... The first place I heard it was from down here. Like I said, 55% sure. We're going to break into a flat. Like...
So is there a neighbour down below you?
No, it's above me. But again,
You heard it from them, okay?
Yeah, like I said, I'm 55% sure, so I wanted the police's advice before I proceed. Now, understand this. Because I'm a vulnerable woman, I take advice from police on what to do. That means hold on. That means the police are responsible for what happens next and not me, because I asked you before what I should do about the situation, and you gave me advice based on your expertise. So basically, be really, really careful about the answer that you give me, because from here on in, it's out of my hands. I've asked you what to do. So, proceed. Are you absolutely sure you want me to make this report?
So you said that you heard...
I said I'm 55% sure. Are you absolutely sure you want me to make the report before we proceed? Are you absolutely sure you want me to make it?
Hey!
Well, the decision that you said that if you're suspecting somebody is planning to break into your property, and they are reporting it, you should be reporting it.
Okay, all right. So, we've established that. So the advice of the police is for me to report it.
Yes, any suspicions that you have, obviously.
Okay. So first of all,
Right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Listen, man. This is not what they wanted. This is not what folk want today. This is why I record my conversations. I record everything. I get everything down, and I make sure that if I'm not sure about something, I make that clear. Because the thing is, it's not just about keeping, anybody's against me. It's not just about keeping them honest. It's also about keeping myself honest. Because I've been abused in my life, and because I've had mental health issues, this is the thing. My memory is not that great, okay? My memory's not that great. Sometimes I can get paranoid. Sometimes I can hear things wrong. So it's important for me to be transparent about that. And it's important for me to actually tell the truth about what's going on with me. And also, seeing as the police are going to talk about my mental health, and the landlords are going to talk about my mental health, and the council are going to talk about my mental health, if I make any reports, instead of me actually making a direct report, I am going to ask their advice on what I should do. Therefore, whatever happens, that is on them. If they want to take responsibility and they want to take control of the situation, they will be the ones responsible for any decisions made, not me, because I've taken their advice as a vulnerable woman in a potentially precarious situation. Now, why would I say anything if I'm not sure? Well, the first thing is that two things have happened in my life. First of all, there are times where I thought I heard wrong, but then when I heard it again, I realized I wasn't wrong at all. The second thing that happens to me is that I hear something, but I do hear wrong. And in the midst of it, I have gang stalkers gaslighting me about shit. So the thing with me, it becomes a balancing act between should I make reports and should I not make reports. My thing is to err on the former, just in case I am right and there's a threat to there's a threat to my own well-being or somebody else's well-being. but I am always going to ask the advice of the police before I do something. Because if they really want to play that game of she's mentally ill and stuff, no, I'm leaving it in your hands. I'm leaving it in your hands. First off, nobody can say that I didn't ask anybody's advice, and nobody can say that I didn't hold myself accountable, and nobody can say that I didn't tell the truth. Nobody can say that because that's on my records. It's all over my records. Nobody can say that. So my thing is this. Reports have already been made about me long before these neighbours moved in. This was way before these neighbours moved in. Reports were made about me over dumb shit. But the thing about it is that I've got evidence. If they can go ahead, hang on a second. They can go ahead, like any neighbours can go ahead and make reports about me. But the thing is, one of the reasons why I did an audio recordings of myself or do videos of myself, it's not just a place for me to vent, it's also evidence. It's evidence. So nobody can say that I said something I didn't say or threaten violence or what have you. I record almost everything. So nobody can say shit about me. I get all my evidence together. I record shit, especially if it's important and especially if my feelings are really, really heightened. I record shit. I might not record other people, but I definitely record myself. So if anybody wants to make reports about me talking some nonsense about, oh, you know, she's violent or she's this, she's that, I got fucking records of almost everything that I fucking say. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People can make reports about me. Like I said, I don't know if that's actually happened. This is just conjecture. But I'd be willing to bet that reports have been made already. And if they have, nah, this ain't what people want to do today. This is not what people want to do. Because I record myself most of the time. It's not what people want to do. It's not what people want to do. I don't lie on my tits, and I don't fucking, if I make false accusations and I know that I'm wrong, I admit it straight away. My social media is full of that. So we ain't about to have none of that today or any other day. Yeah. We ain't about to have that on today or any other day. It's not happening. And this is the thing, right? I'm protecting myself. It's as simple as that. This is not about revenge. This is not about getting back at anybody. I am protecting myself. I'm a vulnerable woman. I have multiple psychological injuries from the abuse I've suffered. It's affected my memory. It's affected the way that I process information. It's affected my ability to get all the facts together. Me recording shit is not just me getting revenge. It's not just me getting back at people. It's about keeping everybody honest, including me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't mess with this shit. People ain't ready. People ain't ready. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on up there. Like it's skittish, man. Skittish. No, it's ridiculous. It's just getting ridiculous now. Alright, anyway, I'll see you guys later. I've got to talk to my friend here, but you take care of yourselves. I love you guys. Take care. Mwah. Bye-bye.